Alright, guys, we're back. We're doing another tier list today. We're doing the Marines from One Piece tier list. It's pretty much there was a lot of Marines I could have chose from. There was like 100 Marines. Okay, I chose the most relevant. Okay, the ones that I know the best. Right, because there's so many of them. There's so many side Marines that a ton of them are going to be and could be better. So it's like just pick the best ones and let's see what we could do with them. Let's see where we're gonna put them. The best ones, the most relevant to the story, and have been most consistent to the story, right? So we got all the admirals. We got a bunch of vice admirals. And yeah, not a bunch, but a couple. And I just want to see where we could put them all and where they all get ranked. We got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30 of them, I think, if my math is right. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off with Sakazuki, and he's honestly, like, it's hard for me to not want to put all of the admirals in GOATs because I love them, especially the big three, Sakazuki, Kizaru, and Aokiji. Just because I think they're the best, right? I think they're the best ones besides Garp because he's obviously going to be up there. But I'm going to really take a deep dive into these characters. Sakazuki, he has potential to be the GOAT. We just don't see him do anything. So he is going in top tier. Okay, I'm being critical with this. We're not giving the GOATs away for free for nothing. Okay, you got to earn that spot. He's definitely top tier, right? Very scary. He killed Ace. He has the most potential to be one of the strongest characters, if not the strongest character in One Piece, out of everybody else on the list. He definitely has the most potential. So he's going to go in top tier. I hope he ends up as one of the GOATs. I want to see him in a badass fight against somebody, someone that's very strong like Shanks or, maybe Luffy. But, yeah, that's where he's going to go for now. Top tier. I love Sakazuki. I want to see more from him. It's been way too long. It's literally been since Marineford, since we've seen him do anything. The last thing he did was fry Kuma's face off, which is like, cool. You couldn't even stop a half broken cyborg. Like, come on, bro, you're better than that. That if you would have stopped Kuma, I don't think anyone would have been surprised. I would have been pissed, but like, you didn't, and I was surprised that you didn't. So you're going into top tier. Okay, now next, this is going to be controversial because I'm thinking Kizaru goes into GOATs. And there's only two reasons. There's really only one reason why he wouldn't go in a GOAT for me is because he didn't win the fight. Also, this is spoilers, okay? This is going to be up to date in the manga, okay? I read the manga every week. We're going to be up to date with this. Surprise, surprise, Seth's a One Piece fan. Showtime reads One Piece, okay? So, Kizaru Borsalino. For me, he's a GOAT because he's done way more than almost any other admiral, right? We've seen him take action more than anybody else when he was first introduced on Sabaody, right? Not first introduced, but like he might have been first introduced on Sabaody, but we got to see him in action for the first time over any other character, right? Besides Aokiji. I think we got to see Aokiji much earlier than him, if I'm not mistaken, when he froze everybody. But when he fought the Straw Hats, fight in quotations, because he didn't really. He just kind of talked to him and let them do their thing. But Kizaru pulled up, and at that moment in time, Kizaru could have been the most feared out of the three because he has the light fruit, right? So he moves at light speeds, right? Technically doesn't, but like anime light speeds, right? And he shoots off lasers, and he's a Logia. And at that time, when he was introduced on Sabaody, Logias are literally the strongest fruits you could come across, and he has the light fruit. Like, it doesn't get stronger than that. And then, building up his character and his great character writing in the Vegapunk, in the Egghead Island, in this new Egghead Island arc, Kizaru like blew me away with his character writing. Like I love him now. Like he's a great character to me. He didn't want to fight at Akad Island. He did it anyway. He killed his best friend anyway, just for the sake of justice. Like, and he doesn't make it a secret that it's hurting him. He doesn't keep it a secret that this was something that really effective, because Sakazuki calls him after the whole thing, and he what, you know, what's going on? Why is nobody answering this and that? And then Kizaru's like, bro, you need to shut the hell up right now. You have no idea what I just went through. So if you want to call me talking smack, go ahead, call somebody else, because I'm not the one. And like, I couldn't even imagine a Sakazuki versus Kizaru fight. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be insane. And so I love Kizaru. I'm going to put him at GOATs, because I predict this. I predict that by the end of the story, he's going to flip. His morals are going to flip. He's not going to want to protect the Marines anymore. It's either going to go one of two ways. He's going to flip, or he's just going to die a Marine. And I bank on him flipping before he dies, because they already made him kill his best friend. I don't think that they can make him do anything more, and he's going to comply with it, right? If he has to do something more drastic than that, like being like partaking in the world ending, I don't think he's going to do that. And so I'm putting Kizaru at GOATs because of future predictions. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't put him at GOATs, and this is only one reason, and I think it's far less significant than Sakazuki's, because Sakazuki's reason is that he doesn't do anything, right? We haven't seen him do anything, so he can't go in GOATs. If there's a most feared tier, right, which there isn't, he would be in that, but he's not. He's in top tier. So the only reason why Kizaru is not, or wouldn't be a GOAT for me, is because he just got whooped left and right by Luffy, right? When he came to Akad Island to start the Buster Call, this and that, he was getting worked by Luffy, and the last time we seen him, he worked everybody. He was the scariest guy on the screen. But now that Luffy's Gear 5, he just made him look like a joke. Like even Sanji kicked one of his beams away. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not even like Sanji's on his level now. So that would make me think that, you know, he's not GOAT material, but the character writing alone, just from the Akad Island arc, puts him at GOAT. It made me fall in love with his character even more. Okay? So now, that brings us to Fujitora. Fujitora has the drip. He has a sick devil fruit. He has awesome moral of justice, right? He has great character writing, an awesome, intriguing background. He's more involved in the story than Sakazuki, but he's going to be put right next to him, right in top tier. If you don't like Fujitora and you don't think he's top tier, I don't know what show you're watching. Okay? I don't know what show you're watching. Now next, Ryokugyu. This is the newest admiral that was introduced. He ate the forest fruit, or the tree fruit. I think it's the forest fruit. He's a Logia, I'm pretty sure. So Ryokugyu is literally Sakazuki's, like, Sakazuki Jr., but times 10, because he wants to impress Sakazuki, right? You get that sense of him that he wants to go even further to make Sakazuki proud and get noticed. He's got sick character design. His tattoo is insane. It's like two people killed themselves by the river, right? Something like that. Something crazy. Green Bull, right? He's the Green Bull. So that's a sick nickname. He has a sick devil fruit. He's the perfect villain. He's just so easily hateable, and he looks so cool. So you like him, but you don't like him. And then his devil fruit is sick. The thing is that he hasn't been in the anime or manga enough for me to put him in top tier. I put him at very good for sure, because I think he is very good and has potential to be top tier. I do think he's going to die a Marine. I think he's going to die trying to impress Sakazuki. And I don't think he's going to really have a change of moral compass. I think he's going to stay the same the entire time. So for me, he's going to go in very good, because I think he is a very good character, and he pushes the story along very well. Now, Monkey D. Garp, I don't need to say anything. He's going right to GOAT. We all know why. Galaxy Impact. That's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. That was the sickest anime moment that I've seen in 2024 so far, besides Mugen getting blown up in his in the house, right? That was insane. But the Galaxy Impact was super hype for me. I loved it. I loved it in the manga when it happened. You know, we finally get to see Garp do something, right? There's so many characters that recently we finally get to see do something, and Garp was one of the most hype ones. Like Shanks was sick when he beat Kid, right? The Divine Departure was awesome, but it's just the Divine Departure, right? It's not his most OP move, I don't think. I think Galaxy Impact is Garp's most OP move. He was going there to save Kobe on a island full of pirates, and it's only him and his crew. You gotta bust out your strongest move, right? That's why I think Kobe did the Honesty Impact, and I don't know if that's his strongest move, but I think it's one of his top 2 strongest moves. There might be one more, right? But if he doesn't like steal the Galaxy Impact, kind of like how Shanks did with Rogers, I think Monkey D. Garp, we don't even need to say it, sick character design. He looks so badass. He's one of the most legendary pirate marines in One Piece. He fought on God Valley, right? Survived it, beat Rocks, Dizabek, escaped the celestial dragons and the knights, right? So which was like Figurlin Garling was on that island at the same time. So, and he raised Ace and Luffy. You got to put him in GOAT. He's a better father than 99.9% of anime fathers, and he's not even the father of either of those kids. He's the GOAT, okay? So, next, Suryu. We're going to put her at, I mean, she's cool. I like her. She always has something to add to the story. She's been around as long as Garp has. I bet you in her prime she was badass, right? She probably has some kind of crazy hockey. Yeah, I'm giving Suryu very good. We're going to go very good with her. I'm not the biggest Suryu fan, right? I kind of, but she's not a could be better character. She's very good. She's got cool little drip. She's always dropping bars when she's on screen or in the manga panels. She's very smart. Very good is honestly where I think she deserves to be. John Giant could be better. Could be better. John Giant's cool. He's tight, right? But, I mean, not really the most important character. Not really the most important Marine. Decent drip. Big-ass dude. What more could you say? Like, you know? So next, Smoker. All right, Smoker. Man, you want to put Smoker in top tier because of classic One Piece. At one point, Smoker was the strongest character, like, on screen that we've seen so far. He was the most OP character that we've seen. Like, when Smoker was on screen, we were like, oh, my God, not this guy. How do we beat this guy, right? So, at one point, he was top tier, and then he slowly got a little bit worse. Otis stopped caring about him. He stopped writing for him. I think he's going to make a comeback. I think he's going to make a strong comeback, right? Which will put him back in top tier. But right now, he is very good for me. He has one of the best character designs, one of the best devil fruits, you know, not the best character written, right? I think Ryokugyu is a better written character. I think Suru is she's a little bit more important as in her role to the Marines, right? Smoker's very important. He's a very important lead character in the Marines, but right now they're about the same. I can't see Smoker being more relevant than Suru, and I can't see Suru being more relevant than Smoker. They're about the same. Ryokugyu is a little bit better than both, right? But that's just because I want to say recency bias, and because he's getting introduced to the story, and he has a cool devil fruit, so he's like a new character that Oda wants to flesh out. So he's a little bit better than these two. But yeah. Anyway, next one, Doll. We're going to put Doll in very good as well. She has a sick character design, awesome devil fruit, sick character design, if you know what I'm saying. And Yeah, I mean, she's cool. She went and pulled up with Garp and the fellas to get Kobe. Like, she's about that life. She's about that action. She went down there whipping shit around. Like, people were running from her scared. So Doll's sick. I think she needs to be focused on a little bit more in these next coming up, like the end game, right? Because Garp's captured, Kobe and everyone else left. So I think she's definitely going to be a little bit more relevant towards the end of the story. I guess not like relevant, but like she's going to be in the story a lot more. And yeah, we're going to see a lot more of her. So she's going to be in very good. She has potential to be top tier depending on how Oda wants to write her. Next, we got very good. Okay? Very good is not going to go in very good. He's going to go, I want to put him in trash or could be better because he's not like super trash. He's entertaining, but like he just turns into balls, right? And like he had a cool fight against Frankie. I'm going to just leave him a could be better. He's not trash, right? I don't think there might only be a couple here that go into trash. But I don't think he deserves to be trash. I think he's a cool Marine, I think he has a little bit of relevancy, He could be better because I don't really care for his Devil Fruit. He's not really in the story a lot. It's kind of like John Giant. Just, you don't see enough of him to really consider him trash. I guess you could call him trash if you don't like his Devil Fruit, right? But I think he could be better. I think he's not the worst character on the list. So he's not going to go in the trash yet. There could be changes, but not yet. Next up, T-Bone. So T-Bone was introduced in Water 7. R.I.P. T-Bone. He got killed by a pirate hunter, or a marine hunter. They cashed in his bounty. I'm going to put T-Bone could be better. T-Bone was cool, right? You didn't really get enough of him, right? It's One Piece. There's a billion characters. You're not going to be able to write for every character, and when you do, it's only going to be limited amount depending on who the character is. So T-Bone is going to definitely be and could be better just because his relevancy to the story isn't the most relevant. He helped push the story along in terms of the bad guys, right? He pretty much gave the Cross Guild, a little bit of relevancy because they killed him. So, that made the Cross Guild a threat, I guess, even though they have Buggy, Mihawk, and Crocodile as on the face of their bounties or their Cross Guild posters. So I guess he was relevant a little bit to the story, but yeah, could be better. All right, now Prince Groose. So Prince Groose, whatever you want to say, he's sick. He's got a cool ability. The wax fruit, if I'm not mistaken, he could conjure up little wax, like henchman kind of deal. He could just manipulate wax. I'm not sure if he's a Logia, or I'm pretty sure he's a Logia, right? If he's not a Logia, he'd be a Paramecia. Either way, cool Devil Fruit. You could really do whatever with the wax. Like, if you control wax like that, and if you are a Logia, you could literally fly. You can make wax wings or something like that. You could, I don't know if you can make like the wax levitate or whatever, because if that was the case, you could probably fly, like float. But you could make a literal army of wax figurines of anything you want, right? You could like literally remodel a giant. You could remodel some kind of weapon, right? So he has a very underrated Devil Fruit. He has an awesome character design. Dude's handsome. You cannot not deny that. Dude is handsome. He looks like the wax version of Ryokugyu. Now that I'm looking at it a little bit, they're both like they're both like the cool guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give Prince Gru very good. I like Prince Gru. He also pulled up on Hachinosu to help Kobe. So yeah, Prince Gru is going up there. Now, Lieutenant Commander Django. Django was tight. I can't lie. Django was a good character. He had moments of like, comedy of oh man, he's low-key gonna win this fight when he was fighting Luffy or whoever it may be. Like he gave the Straw Hats problems. I think he's more relevant than T-Bone, very good, in John Giant. He's obviously drippy. Like, look at those glasses. Mike Jackson. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Django very good. Django is a very good character. I don't care what you're saying. Now, Lieutenant Commander Helmeppo, okay, the glow up of all glow ups, like low-key more of a glow up than Kobe, right? Because Kobe, you could tell he wanted to be a good Marine. He wanted to be a strong Marine. He wanted to be what he is now. Helmeppo, on the other hand, he's the son of Captain Morgan, and he is a snot-nosed, spoiled, rich little brat, right? He had no fight in him. He had no, courage inside of him. And look at him now. The character development is insane. He's got some kind of weird drip now, but I think he dual wields swords now. He's actually a good fighter, a decent fighter. I'm sure he's not the strongest. I don't think I definitely don't think he's on Kobe's level, but I think he's gonna be what Bogart is to Garp. I think he's gonna be that for Kobe, right? Of what Bogart is to Garp. And I'm gonna put Helmeppo. I'm going to put Helmeppo at very good. He's been in the story for so long. He had a big character upgrade, big glow up. He's definitely going to go very good, right? I'm being really picky here. Top tier and GOATs. You're going to have to work a little harder. You're going to have to be a little more relevant, and your story's going to have to touch, right? I got to feel that from your character. I got to feel that story, okay? Which, ironically, the next character is Danjiro Rosanane. Okay, so Danjiro Rosie, he might be GOAT solely for his backstory with Law, right? He was a former Celestial Dragon, while him and his family was, and then they got denounced of, their Celestial Dragon title. He could have been a pirate. He could have been using his Celestial Dragon title, to be evil and do whatever he wants, right? Kind of like Doflamingo did. And he's Doflamingo's little brother. He could have easily been a part of Doflamingo's pirate crew and took over with Doflamingo and been evil, but he didn't. He got Law out of there. He saved Law's life. He gave him the fruit that saved his life. He allowed Law to use the op fruit to get it, and the way he saves Law, when he sacrifices himself to his brother to save Law, you cannot tell me that's not the most saddest part when he tells him, all that stuff, tells him pretty much man, I love you like a little brother, and then mutes everything so Law couldn't hear him die, and then nobody could hear Law cry, right? So man, if that's not a goated backstory, it's for sure top tier. So he's going to go top tier because that was it. That's where it ended for him, right? So I'm not going to put you at GOAT, but you did a GOAT act. You saved one of the best characters in the story. You saved him, and that really changed the entire story of One Piece on how it could have went, right? If Doflamingo gets his hands on the op fruit, he makes somebody perform the immortality surgery, Doflamingo could have took over the world. He could have got the One Piece, and a lot of things could have went bad. Next, Bogard. He's either top tier or very good, and I'm gonna put him at very good because we don't get too much dialogue from him, right? But he's badass. He's awesome. Bogard shows up. When he shows up, he's down for the cause. You know what I mean? He's got a sick outfit. He's got a cool little investigator, little scheme going on, like a detective kind of deal. And he's pretty much Garp's right-hand man. Very trustworthy. He's going to die a Marine, I think. And, yeah, I think he's either going to die a Marine or a lot of the Marines are going to, change their morality towards the end of One Piece when they start seeing that the Marines are, going to destroy the world, right? So, yeah, Bogard is going to be a very good character because he is a very good character. Now, next, Science Captain Sentomaru. Okay, Sentomaru. Very good character writing. He hadn't been in the story for a while until Egghead Island. And then when he was on Egghead Island, all he wanted to do was defend the island. He wanted to defend Vegapunk because Vegapunk took him in, allowed him to stay on the island. Sentomaru was a wanted man because he betrayed the Marines, right? So I think he has a very good backstory, a very good very good character writing. He ended up surviving the Buster Call. He ends up breaking out of the prison that the Marines had him in, breaks out, gets a boat, takes off, right? Like, Sentomaru is a badass. He's got a cool weapon. He's definitely not John Giant very good or T-Bone. He's definitely going to go in very good for sure. There's going to be a lot of very goods, okay? Scientist, Caesar Clown, I mean, very good. Like, I mean, maybe top tier. I loved Caesar Clown. Like, Caesar Clown, he's not a Marine anymore, right? But he has a cool devil fruit. His character design is pretty sweet. He's got like this. He doesn't like really look like a clown, but he's got like the face makeup and stuff like that. The gas fruit is sick, right? He's not the smartest guy in the world, but like if he really wanted to, the gas fruit is 10 times more OP than smokers. He's back at Mads, I think, right? They started Mads again. Him and Judge. So I think he has potential to be a top tier character again. I'm going to put him at very good because he hasn't done really anything that's going to be top tier. He kidnapped children and experimented on children. Top tier villain, I wouldn't even say a top tier villain. I would say he's a very good villain. Punk Hazard was entertaining, but I don't think Caesar is a top tier. Because he pretty much gets whooped on a lot. Like, Law had his heart for 10 arcs. You know what I mean? So, yeah, moving on. Sengoku. Vice Admiral Sengoku. Here's the thing. We're not putting people in top tier GOATs based off of their rank in the Marines. Does that make sense? Because he's like the highest. He's the Fleet Admiral or whatever. Former Fleet Admiral. He's a very good character. He has awesome character writing. He's a leader. He's got a really cool devil fruit. I'm in between top tier, very good, and this is a hard one. If he's not top tier, he's very good, and if he's not very good, he's top tier. There's no in between. He stopped Garp from saving Ace. And that is going to make me put him at very good. If he let Garp save Ace, he would have been top tier. Right? If he would have just like let him do it, even though he couldn't, right? He was obligated not to. He would have been top tier because he would have done something very drastic, right? He would have done something very drastic. And then it shows me too, like, either Garp isn't as strong as Sengoku, which I don't think is the case, because he could have used his armament hockey and some kind of conqueror's hockey to get Sengoku off of him. But that just shows the level of respect he has for Sengoku and the Marines, because, Garp's a Marine at the end of the day. But Sengoku, he's going to be a very good, just because we don't really get into him as much, right? He's not really relevant to the story. He's retired. He's not really going to do anything, I think. He might go out and have one more battle by the end of it all, but yeah, he's going to be very good until we get a crazy backstory or a crazy fight with him. Then he'll be top tier at most. He's not going to be a GOAT for sure, but yeah, he's going to be top tier. Now, Admiral Aokiji. This one's going to be hard for me because I want to put him at GOAT. He just beat Garp in a fight, right? In an awesome fight. He went against the Marines, and he's doing what he wants. He doesn't take answers from nobody. When he found out that Sakazuki was going to be the Fleet Admiral, he fought him for that title. He ended up losing, and he'd rather quit than work under Sakazuki because he knows Sakazuki, aka Akainu, is going to be a lot to handle as a leader. He's going to be very hard. He's going to say a lot of things and make people do a lot of things they don't want to. So he leaves the Marines. He doesn't like the justice that the Marines have right now, and he wants to find his own sense of justice, right? And he joins the Blackbeard Pirates, and that's insane. That's like I just said with Sengoku, he didn't do nothing drastic. Aokiji literally did one of the most drastic things you could do. You leave the Marines as an admiral, and you join the Blackbeard Pirates as one of the 10 captains, like, that's insane. I'm putting Aokiji at GOAT. Marineford was insane when he did Ice Age, right? Like, nobody has come close besides Sakazuki to make me think, like, he can't just solo everybody. You know what I mean? And so, and that was off screen. We don't even know how that fight played out, but I know it was awesome. But yeah, he's going to be at GOATs. He's going to be in the top 3 GOATs, okay? There's going to be, there might be one or two more. We'll see. All right, so next one, Commander Hibari. So Hibari's cool. I mean, she cries a lot. She's Kobe's, probably going to be his girlfriend one day. She could be better. We don't really get into her a lot. Like, we don't even know, because there's a theory that she's Sakazuki's daughter. Like, we don't even know if she's his daughter, because Hibari is the name of the flower that's on Sakazuki's shirt. So that gives, like, hints to it. But, like, at the end of the day, we really don't know. And I would like to know more about her and her backstory. So I think she could be better because she has the potential to have relevancy. Now, Kobe easily top tier. I think he's going to end up as one of the GOATs. If not, he's a young GOAT. Let's just say young GOAT, right? Kobe is a young GOAT, but he's going to be in the top tier because I don't have another tier that says young GOAT, right? Because he would have been the only one, but Kobe is easily top tier, and I don't even need to get into the thick of it. He's been around since day one. We've seen his glow up. We've seen his training arc with Garp. Like, this kid literally punched boats day in and day out. Bare knuckle, no hockey. Like, just smash boats until he got strong. Honesty Impact was sick. He's the most humble character in the entire One Piece show. He's easily the most humble. Right? Like, oh man, when he got saved from the Marines, he was like, oh man, there's no way they actually came for me. Like, yeah, they did. So there's relevancy to that, right? Does that make sense? Like, Kobe is very top tier. He's going to end up, I know this for a fact, he's going to end up as one of the GOATs, like, easily. So next on, we're going to be going to Tashigi. So Tashigi, she's cool. She's Smoker's little buddy. I think she's a very good character. I think we got more from her than we got out of any of the other Marines, and could be better. I think we've seen more of her. We've seen her in action more. I'm definitely going to put her at very good. She's got a cool character design. And, like, even right, like, now, like, she had a cool character design back in the day. It was like it was cool, but now she's really kick-ass now. She's got that sword she has. She's obsessed with swords. She's obsessed with beating Zoro, which is going to be a very long shot. But I think she's a cool character. I think she's a very good character. I think she's rightfully ranked, like, right in that spot. I think that's exactly where she needs to be. Next up, Doberman. Listen, he's a good character. Could be better because we don't know his backstory, right? We don't really know too much of him. Like, I guess we know a little bit about his backstory. I guess a little bit, but, like, not the craziest amount. And he hasn't, he's not one of the most relevant Marines that we look at and that we get into. I'm putting him at could be better because he does have potential. Now, this row doesn't mean these guys are trash. This just means that they have potential to be a little bit better, and they have potential to move the story along and have some relevancy to the story, right? That's really all that this category right here is. Could be better. Like, how relevant are you? You're not that relevant. You could be, though. You could be more relevant, besides T-Bone and Doberman, RIP. Like, we don't know if Doberman's dead right now. I'm assuming he is because I don't know why he wouldn't be dead compared to everybody else. Like, everyone that Saturn killed with his telepathy. So I'm putting him at could be better. And next up, Nezumi. He's going to be the first one in the trash. Nezumi is a cocky, arrogant asshole. I don't like him. He looks like a rat, like, literally, and he's just one of those Marines that you love to hate, right? There's not a lot of Marines that you don't like Ryokugyu, But like, I don't like Nezumi. I think he's a whack character. I think he's just, I think he's supposed to be hated. I think he's supposed to be not liked, and rightfully so, because that's where he's going, in the trash. Now, next up, Sword, Captain Drake. Drake's easily going into very good. He's a sick character. He's cool. He has a lot of relevancy. He's the captain of Sword, right? Nobody knew what Sword was. There are so many theories on who the real captain of Sword is, who's the founders of Sword, right? Who are the other remaining members of Sword, right? He had this whole big relevancy, and he changed the story with Sword being introduced, right? And he faked being a pirate, and he faked being, Kaido's he faked being Kaido's like alliance with Kaido just to help Sword out, right? I think he's a very good character. He had really good character writing, and I think he is dead too. So R.I.P. Drake. Actually, no, but I don't think anyone knows if he's alive or dead or not. I think we're just all assuming he's dead. But yeah, he's got a decent character design. He looks cool, right? He has a cool ship. Decent, I guess. I would say decent devil fruit. I don't really care for any of the Zoan type devil fruits that turn into like dinosaurs or anything. Besides King, I think King's is really badass because it's a mythical kind of dinosaur. Like Drake is just a T-Rex, so he's cool. He's very good. He's not my favorite in the very good category. He's probably my least favorite, actually, now that I'm looking at it, in the very good category. Maybe like one step up from Django. Other than that, he's like lower on the list for me, but he's not a could be better kind of guy. He had a full character development from beginning to end. Now, next, Captain Morgan. So, Captain Morgan, is he very good because I hated him as an antagonist? Or is he could be better because we only seen him for a short period of time? He kind of sucked. He got his ass whooped relevantly early on in the anime and the manga. He was a individual that we loved to hate, and we wanted to see him get whooped, but he was a very good antagonist though, right? I love the Baratier arc. I love that they fought on that little ship. It was awesome to me. I love how the fight ended. I just love everything about that arc when they get Sanji and they run into Captain Morgan and all that. That's one of my favorite arcs. So I think just for that alone, for me, he's going to go very good. Captain Morgan, very good. I think he was a good antagonist. I think he was a well-written antagonist. We loved hating him. He looked cool with that jaw thing, right? And like, that's super anime. He had his big old golden arm or whatever he had. Like, Captain Morgan was cool. I thought he was awesome. I thought he was a good character that we loved to hate. And then obviously that introduced like Mihawk, and then and now him and what's his face, the dude who died, Gyu, or Ginyu, whatever his name, not Ginyu, is it Gyu? I think it's Gyu, something like that. The little dude who died, who got sick, that we thought died, he actually survived, and they're actually relevant when they were showing like the rest of the world during the Egghead Island arc. You could see them in the background. So it looks like they kind of just started doing their own thing. They let go of the whole marine thing, and they just look like they probably got a little bit stronger, got a little more drippy, and they're just doing their thing now, being pirates, I'm assuming. So next up, Vice Admiral Jaguar D. Sol. Okay. I'm going to get hate if he doesn't go anywhere other than GOATs or top tier, I believe. If he doesn't go in GOATs, I think I'm going to get hate. But if he goes in GOATs, I think I might get hate because, man, solely alone what he did, no pun intended, solely alone, what he did, he saved Robin, he saved a bunch of information about the Void Sentry, right? And without him, Robin would be dead and a lot of information would have got destroyed. And he's going to be very, very relevant now that we're in Elbaf, and Robin's going to meet up with him. And I think he's going to, somehow maybe sacrifice himself in the end of One Piece. Man, saving Robin and all of that information is definitely GOAT material. Like, I can't lie. It's definitely GOAT material. We haven't seen him for so long because he's been in hiding, because he used to be a Marine. Oh, man. Fuck it. I'm going to GOAT. I don't care what you guys say. It's Saul, man. It's Saul. You got to put him at one of the GOATs. Like, you have to. You know? All right, now, Fleet Admiral Kong. He could be better. He's going to be one of the Fleet Admirals, the only Fleet Admiral going into could be better. Because he's cool. He's got a decent little background, I guess. He's got a, cool, he's strong, right? He's down to fight. He's got a cool character design, but we just don't get enough of him, I think. I think he gets shadowed by some of the other admirals. But he's cool. He's an awesome background. Like, he a bunch of the Fleet Admirals are really cool, right? I think he's the coolest. That's why he's on the list. But yeah, for me, he's going to stay at could be better because he's really only there when everybody else is there. We don't get just like, what's Kong doing, And he's not really like an antagonist. He was never really a big protagonist. So he's going to stay at could be better. He's not trash. He's really cool. Yeah. So Kong is definitely could be better. His fights are always awesome. They're always really good. Like, not like the craziest fights, but like they're cool fights. They're decent fights. Now last and very not least, the man himself, Dr. Vegapunk. Listen, drippy, drippy, drippy. This man is so drippy, he made 9 different versions of him just so he could drip in different ways and different genders. Okay? The smartest man alive. He's done so much good for the world with that flower powder, gunpowder, right? He would be top tier for me if he didn't put out the transmission to the world, right? And a lot of people didn't really like the transmission that he gave out because it was no new information, and he didn't tell the world that who the real antagonist was, which is the government, which he should have just flat out said. He like hinted at it really, really hard, but he didn't straight up tell everybody how the world is going to end. He told everybody the world's going to end and how it's going to happen. It's going to flood, but not by who, is what I'm saying. He knows who. He could have said it's the world government. He could have said don't trust the Gorosei. He could have said so many things to expose the government, but he really didn't. And that was where I was like, that kind of is whack, because he could have told everybody like the real meanings and the real, like, who's the real antagonist here and who to trust, who not to trust. And that kind of, that's my really only gripe about his transmission. But he did tell the rest of the world, gave them a heads up, hinted at who is going to destroy the world, because when you go around the world and you're like, no, there's no way. Like, people are so like confused and like, oh man, the world's ending. And then you got Doberman at the end of that, questioning Saturn, like, hey, is this true? Like, so he knows that him asking, he's like, hey man, I'm a devoted Marine, but I just want to know if this is true, because he knows that the Marines are going to be the one that, like, the government is going to be the one that caused these world-ending atrocities, right? I think Doberman knew, so it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together. I think Vegapunk was really hinting at the government being the bad guys. It's just that he didn't say they were directly, but since he did that, it's a GOAT move. And he helped out the Straw Hats. He's best friends with Monkey, or with a dragon, and so he did some messed up things to Kuma, saved Bonnie, but he didn't. He went behind government's back when he was building Kuma. He did leave Kuma a little bit more intact than he said he would. Easily GOAT. Vegapunk is easily one of the GOATs. R.I.P., but not really, because he's still alive. But R.I.P. Stella Body. But yeah, I mean, there's your list right there. We got the GOATs: Kizaru, Monkey D. Garp, Aokiji, Jaguar D. Sol, Vegapunk, due to their relevancy in the story and how they changed the story and their character writing alone. Top tier: Sakazuki, Fujitora, I'm blanking on his name, Doflamingo's little brother, Rosanada, and Kobe. Easily top tier. Kobe's going to be a GOAT. I can see him becoming a GOAT. Rosanada, he did a GOAT act, right? He saved Law, but that's all we got out of him, so I'm not going to put him at GOAT. And then Fujitora obviously has potential to be a GOAT depending on which way he flops in these next coming arcs. And Sakazuki, he's going to end up being one of the best antagonists, hopefully, if we see him do something, and that will put him at GOAT at the end of the day. Right now, he'll remain in top tier just because we haven't seen him do something. And yeah, everyone else, I don't really got to explain why those guys are in very good or could be better or trash. Definitely don't got to explain that. But yeah, this is my list. Let me know how wrong I am in the comments. Let me know where you would have put these guys throughout my tier list. Listen, this is my tier list. Right? If you have your own little tier list, that's fine. Let me know where I ranked and messed up in my tier list. And let me know if I need to add a different tier next time. But yeah, that was a One Piece Marine tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed that. See you guys next time.